fine groove of our game for the championship was going to be here.
We come off the road of a loss and stuff, and that focus and that drive, it kind of reminded me of last year in the Big West after we lost to San Diego. Like the energy and the whole vibe of practices and everything kind of changed. You know, everybody was more determined and really focused on what they needed to do to help the team win. So, I mean, it's great energy out there, and it's very competitive, very competitive.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this Friday evening. Scott Robbs along with Lisa Strand and Ryan Calais. Suji, 4 more matches remain in the regular season. It's going to be a dogfight till the end. And last week, Hawaii went to the Pyramid, where they have had a rough time of late, and it continued, losing a pair of matches in 4 each night to the beach of Long Beach State. And we talked to the guys and got more of their thoughts on that tough trip.
I was very proud of the guys, and I thought we all fought very hard, and no one really gave up out there. The defense on both sides was great, and then the scoring was too. So it was just the outcome. And then they were serving us off the court too. They were bombing serves.
I think this past weekend was definitely a challenge, but it was also a good opportunity to show our game and see where we're at. And I think we definitely showed some strengths in our game. When we're on, we're definitely always playing up to them, and without even playing at 100%, we can still keep up to the team like that, which is really scrappy, and they're a really good team.
You know, obviously disappointed we couldn't close out a few more sets. We would have won at least one of the matches, and we just weren't playing our best, and still we're really close against a good team on the road. There were some positives that came out of it in that standpoint, that we could be, you know, that competitive with one of the top teams, like I said, on the road, and we got to execute a little better. I think it also identified that our setter and our middles are really good. You know, we were scoring early and often, so that part of our game is really good. And obviously it requires you being able to receive serve, which we were enough to run them, and still would like to a little more. Overall, I mean, like I said, there's some positives to take out of it, and we're just going to continue to work hard and put ourselves in position to be competitive again.
Report from today, there you see Long Beach State sweeping UC San Diego, though they got pushed in that first set, and it was UC Irvine in 4 downing CSUN. So the up-to-date standings in the Big West Conference, Long Beach State at the top at 6-1. Hawaii's opponent tonight, UC Santa Barbara, at 5-2, and Hawaii sitting there at number 4 at 3-3. As you said, 4 matches remaining in conference. It's going to be a dogfight till the end when it comes to the Big West Conference.
We're only thinking about playing the best we can and going into the Big West tournament. You know, and right now these matches are all for seeding. All 6 teams will make the NC2A, or will make the Big West tournament. So that's I think that's first and foremost on everybody's mind. If you're not playing well on any given night, you'll lose. So and that, you know, we have some really, there's 5 of the 6 teams are in the top 15 in the country and 3 in the top 6, and we're all playing each other here down the stretch. So a lot of really high-level volleyball still to be played.
All right, let's weigh in. Let's talk about a couple of things. First, how about that Long Beach State series? I want to start with you, Ryan, first, because you were at the Pyramid last weekend. We watched it on television. You know, each set was really close. It could have gone either way both nights.
Yeah, Hawaii could have easily swept and won that first night, but it always appeared whenever Hawaii got into that red zone of 20 points and that last 5 points, they seemed to fumble the ball, and Long Beach, credit to them, they went in some runs, they played well when they had to, and Hawaii's brand of volleyball has always been serving tough, passing well, being aggressive, and it was in those latter moments of each of the sets where Hawaii sort of backed off, and Long Beach State was the aggressor and really came out. And so Hawaii was competing. Jakob Tella was essentially playing on one leg. You know, he was clearly swollen. He injured his knee earlier in the week, and the murmurings throughout the Pyramid as people were watching this was, how is he doing this? I mean, his leg was severely swollen. It was noticeable, and yet he competed still at a very high level.
It's pretty amazing. Young athlete, if you will. This guy has taken the team and put him on his shoulders, playing on one leg like Ryan's alluding to. They were a little off, but they were so close on night number 1. They could have easily taken that, but just too many unforced errors at wrong times in the matchup.
All right, let's talk about the Big West Conference picture, because it seems weird to see Hawaii like in 4th place at 3-3. However, they control their own destiny to a point, at least in terms of finishing in that 2nd spot to get a bye the opening day of the Big West tournament. But they would have to win both these matches and both next week at UC Irvine.
Well, one of the things that Hawaii has going for them, no matter what, and Coach Charlie Wade just shared that, is everybody gets to compete in the Big West tournament, whether they get a bye or not. Their biggest advantage is that they are playing here at the Stan Sheriff, at the Simplify Arena. Home court advantage for this team is huge.
Yeah, and I think it's going to be a big test to see how this team finishes out. They want to ride the momentum. They want to be able to continue to add to their resume, and 2 wins tonight will certainly help that. And, like you said, Lisa, it is going to be a very big test for the other teams coming to play in this environment. Some of these teams like Long Beach have only played on the road 5 times. And so when you come into an arena like this with some of the younger players, if this place is sold out, fans can make it very difficult, and it could be a very difficult path for any team to have to beat Hawaii in order to get into the NCAA tournament.
But let me ask you guys this. If Hawaii does not finish 2nd in the regular season, do they have to win the tournament to get in?
Yes.
Definitely.
I think that there is just too many teams this year that have, have a better resume overall. And when you look at just what's happening throughout the country, Hawaii doesn't have a strong enough resume against some of these teams to be able to rely on that at-large bid.
And I can't agree more. I think Ryan hit it on the head. They just don't have a strong enough resume. In the Big West, you get one at-large bid. The team who wins the Big West Conference goes, and luckily or hopefully a second team will attend from the Big West. In the past, they have brought on a second team, but who knows?
I mean, you look at the rankings right now, 3 of the top 5 teams are in the conference. So a couple of more weeks will probably play itself out. All right, it should be a fun one tonight and tomorrow, Hawaii and UCSB. And the gentleman that will be calling the action, join us now. It's Kanoa and the coach, Chris. Hi, guys.
Hey, what's up? Thanks a lot. Yeah, next to Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. And C-Mac, you heard the corner crew breaking it down a little bit there, and pretty accurately so, because I think a huge theme this week when we spoke with head coach Charlie Wade was the fact that he didn't feel like Hawaii played all that well in Long Beach, and yet every single set was a competitive one, and Hawaii, if anything, had an opportunity to win at least 2 or 3 more sets through those 2 matches, and who knows what the result ultimately could have been in that case. But how did you receive the way Hawaii played against Long Beach State last weekend?
It's a great question. Night number 1, they were tied at 21-all in all 4 sets. How do you only win one of those 4? I don't know. I know that they were very inconsistent on the pins both nights, especially on night number 2. Their pins hit either 0 or negative, and you're not going to win any Division I match if your pins are hitting 0 and negative. The good news is that the middles were phenomenal.
Yeah.
I mean, Hoagland and Voss were tremendous all weekend long, and fouled them every chance he could when he got a good pass. And so that was the good news. Now they just got to shore up that outside situation. I think they'll be fine. But I think home sweet home will be really good for them.
Yeah, speaking of home sweet home, this is now across the net a UC Santa Barbara team that probably feels pretty at home here in this surrounding. The fact that they are the reigning Big West tournament champions.
Yep.
Their top player, Ryan Wilcox, he's a Punahou alum, so this is every time literally a homecoming for him, and he has just been balling out again here in 2022.
Yeah, just amazing. He was freshman of the year. He was the ABCA newcomer of the year. He's got all these awards. He's got Big West Player of the Week. All those things going on. He is a jumper. He is explosive. He's quick. He's dynamic. He's got great, just basic fundamental skills. He can pass, hit, block. Great server as well. He just kind of does it all. And tonight, I think he'll see more sets than usual. If the setter Paragus has his way, I think he'll give Ryan the ball every chance he can to show off in front of a hometown crowd.
It might be a good idea. Last time Ryan played in this arena was in that aforementioned Big West Conference tournament last year, and he was named the tournament MVP because, again, he was just at full throttle for sure over the course of that event. All right, if Hawaii is to win and get back on track, so to speak, what happens tonight?
I think that, first of all, their outsides have got to really play well. I think I'm not worried about the middles at all, but I'm I am concerned about the outsides and how patient Charlie Wade will be with the outsides. You know, who's going to get the early hook? I'm a big favor of not giving the early hook. Charlie, I think, is a little bit frustrated. I think he sees more unforced errors in practice than I do, but I would give him a little bit longer, but we'll see how that time frame goes should they struggle tonight. But that's the key tonight is Hawaii's outsides.
Yeah, and maybe the most popular knee that is going to be on display here tonight, and that is the knee of Jakob Tella. Ryan had mentioned it. This thing was huge earlier in the week, got it drained, seems to be doing okay, though, at least based on his performance in serve and pass earlier today. So keep your eye on that, because as Jakob goes, usually that's how the Rainbow Warriors go as well. We'll see you at first serve. Let's send it back over to the corner crew.
All right, thanks a lot, guys. Stay with us, because when we come back, we're going to hear from outside hitter Chaz Galloway. But get the greatest plays, hardest hits, and schedule info by following Spec Sports High on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. You're watching Game On, and it's presented by Bank of Hawaii. And welcome back inside Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Number 4, Hawaii. Number 5, UCSB. Hawaii will probably count heavily on that young man, Chaz Galloway, who's used patience as a way to overcome an early season ankle injury.
Overcoming it, I just knew I had to be patient and do rehab and just, work with it and find ways that, if I can't jump my highest that night, maybe I can pass well or, help the team through other ways. For me, really, it wasn't too much the jumping part of it. It was the landing, like the conscious, I had like a conscious thing in my head of landing because I don't want to land and tweak it again. And when you jump that high and you come down, like you're just always scared of someone else. I can't control what other people are going to do. So overcoming that, the mental side of it, was probably the harder part of it, and trusting my body and my ankle to do what it needs to do.
The ankle is largely behind us, and he's able to do kind of Chaz Galloway type things on the court more. And he's sophomore eligibility wise, he's still got a lot of growth in front of him, and just continue to work hard and hope he's playing his at his highest level possible here at the end of the season.
Well, let's take a look at Chaz's profile out of San Diego, the sophomore. There you see the 14 matches he's played in. He has started 2.61 kills percentage, 271 hitting percentage. He also has 6 service aces. But when you look at Chaz and you think back to that ankle injury, that was when they were getting ready to start that road trip. First off at Ball State, and he had a high ankle injury, and those usually take a long time to recover. He was able to get back in like 3 weeks. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it was. I think, as Charlie Wade said, though, that ankle's behind him, and Hawaii is finding ways to try to get him more integrated into every aspect of this team, not only offensively, but he plays a big role in the serve receive, being a reliable passer in the backcourt. Last week against Long Beach, he had a phenomenal, I think the best game I think I've seen him play all season. In that first night out against Long Beach, his parents were in attendance in the crowd cheering him on, and I think he looked very comfortable and shows that he can really take over a match and dominate when needed. He continues to be one of those players that Hawaii will need coming down the line.
And one of the things that's special about Chaz Galloway is that he has worked so hard not only to recover quicker than most from the high ankle injury, his first ball contact, but his play overall. He has come onto this team, and really he's an undersized player who has already won a national championship as a true freshman. COVID, I believe, really helped this young man, and also those who came before him. He was on the team with last year with the Colton Cowles, with the Gage Worsleys, with the Rado Parapunov. He learned pretty quickly how to get involved, and that he wanted to be part of a winning team, and he worked very hard, and he got back out on the court, and now he's a major contributor to this team.
Ryan, would you say consistency is maybe the one thing they really need from Chaz down this stretch run?
I mean, no doubt you're going to need to be consistent, but I think more than anything else, one of the things that Chaz can bring is leadership. I would like him to just be a little bit more vocal and take over, and in times on that Friday match against Long Beach, he was calling for sets, being very aggressive. The timing was a little off on that second night between him and Jakob, and so hopefully they were able to shore that up. But with his ability to hit out of the back row as well, those are the types of things that I think he can provide beyond just his offensive threats, but just being able to be a leader on that court.
Yeah, and I think that his best option, personally, I think hitting out of the backcourt is his strength, and I would like to see Hawaii use him more often out of that backcourt as an option.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, we'll break down the matchup. 2 top 5 teams going at it here in Manoa. Back at Simplify Arena, stands Sheriff Center, Hawaii Ucsb, about 15-20 minutes away from the opening serve. It's a big matchup between 2 top 5 teams. Here you see the top 15. John Spraw's UCLA Bruins still sitting atop the rankings at number 1. Long Beach State checks in at 2nd. Hawaii at 4th. UCSB at 5. So you got 3 Big West teams in the top 5. There you see the bottom 5 with UC San Diego at number 10. And the last 5 in the poll, Loyola Chicago, who Hawaii beat, Stanford, who Hawaii beat, Lewis, who Hawaii beat, UC Irvine, who Hawaii will play next week, and McKendree. But a big one here for conference and possible postseason implications. Let's find out more about the Gauchos.
Another, top-ranked team. They've got some really significant wins in this year, and they have been one of the best programs in the country for the last several years, and at the top of the Big West standings. And this year's no different. They got a lot of really good players, and they always play hard, and they play fast, and they're a good ball control team. So we're gonna have to play well to compete for sure.
All right, let's look at the season stat comparisons. There you see the record, 16-6 for the Gauchos, 18-5 for the Rainbow Warriors. Hawaii with the edge in kills and kills percentage. Blocking, of course, favors Hawaii. A bit of an edge in the digs. Serving, which has been Hawaii's specialty. Look at Hawaii, 172 service aces to 231 service errors. The Gauchos, way more service errors and less service aces. All right, let's look at the leaders for UC Santa Barbara.
And Ryan Wilcox coming home, the local Punahou star. All-American honors last year, leading his team in kills and digs. Dwayne Chalmers, another great player, pin hitter, doing a nice job on the outside, and defensively, amazing things. And Donovan Todorov, a 6'6" middle blocker who is very quick and posts a nice block.
And for Hawaii, the player that a lot of people will be watching is that first player you see, Demetrius Muklias, who struggled last week against BGC. His numbers there, Hawaii relying on him, 3.22 kills per set. He will have to have a consistent and better night tonight from the get-go. Spiros Hakas, another player that has had to carry a lot of the offensive burden, and Guilherme Voss, who had a monster weekend last week against Long Beach State, looking to continue his connection with Jakob Tella.
Serve receive tonight is going to be huge for Hawaii. If they can run their offense with good passing, good things should happen.
That's always the bottom line, right? Well, Hawaii has always said, if we can take care of that first ball, that first contact, then we can run our middles, and that's what they've been working on hard all year long, and that's exactly what they're going to want to do, is try to get the ball to Guilherme Voss and Cole Hoagland tonight.
But I think one of the things that was very evident last week was that when Hawaii passes bad, the out-of-system hitters for Hawaii aren't what they used to be. And that's why Muklias will struggle at times, because he's not the Radapata Puna. He hits better when the Hawaii's in system, when they can go fast, and he has opportunities to have one-on-one blocks. And so the passing is just so much more critical. I wouldn't be surprised if Hawaii moves into a 4-man rotation at times, because I think there were moments last weekend where they got really exposed in a 3-man passing pattern, and Long Beach State was in a 4-man for many passing rotations. And so Hawaii may look to that as well if they get into passing trouble.
Concern about Jakob's knee?
Definitely. I think we saw how he can play through it last week, and the fact that he was able to play as good as he has, I think that it is not worth it for Hawaii. If he is struggling or feeling any pain, we need Jakob later in the week, or I should say in the month. So if Hawaii loses this match, of course it'll be bad, but it is not going to be the end of the season. I think if Jakob's not feeling good, Jack Walmer should be the one that comes in.
Well, Hawaii is back home, and that's a good thing for UH. It's Hawaii and UCSB, the three of us. We'll be back at intermission, but coming up next, Kanoa and Chris with the call of the action.
With 2 weeks remaining in the regular season, Hawaii sits in 4th place in the Big West standings as all 6 teams battle for positioning in the upcoming conference tournament. After back-to-back losses in Long Beach, the Bows are in need of a bounce back in the final regular season series at home on senior weekend. Up next, the first of a couple of critical matches between the 5th-ranked Gauchos of UC Santa Barbara and the 4th-ranked Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. And with that, we welcome you inside Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center. Next to Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Let's take a look at the Kaiser Permanente keys to the match. C-Mac.
Well, for Santa Barbara, it's Wilcox. Welcome home. That's Ryan Wilcox, preseason All-American. He'll be their go-to guy. And for Hawaii, serve seams and sidelines, not down into the laps of the passers.
Diving save by Brett Sheward, the libero for Hawaii, but he wasn't able to get a second touch on his side to keep that rally alive. And the first point of the match goes to UC Santa Barbara. Put down by the opposite hitter, the southpaw, Haotian Shaw of Beijing, China. And so here is Donovan Todorov to serve for the Gauchos. Jakub Tella goes D-set to Dimitrios Muklias, unable to get it down, going high hands. And then the quick set to Brandon Hicks will be saved. Chaz Galloway from the back row. That went off the shoulder of Todorov. And then sent over, forcing a diving save by Shui. Here comes Dimi, and he gets the touch. And that is a welcome sight for this Hawaii squad. As we take a look at the Hawaiian Financial FCU starting lineups, Hawaii needs more production at the pins, certainly compared to what they got against Long Beach State last week.
And Dimitri took a couple of really good swings there in that rally. Finally got the kill out that last touch.
A great serve by Tella, forces a free pass over the net. Tella goes D-set. Galloway unable to get it down. One-hand save by the libero, Max Gordon. And then the hit goes long. No touch up front. So it's a point for Hawaii. Good look there at Ryan Wilcox, the 6'2 junior out of Punahou. This guy has just been tremendous in his career arc with the Gauchos. Remember last year, UC Santa Barbara won the Big West Conference tournament played in this facility. And it was Wilcox who went home with the tournament MVP honor. Of course, Hawaii did not play UCSB in that tournament. Hawaii got ousted by UC San Diego in the semifinal, but it would be UC Santa Barbara punching a ticket to the NCAA tournament, and a lot of that was on the shoulder of Ryan Wilcox. Here's Shaw with the serve, and that one goes long. You pointed out something pretty interesting, C-Mac. Jakub Tella, whose lefty serve with movement, with velocity, has been such a weapon for Hawaii this year. UCSB actually has the opportunity to mimic, at least to a degree, his serve in practice.
They've actually got 3 guys that are left-handed that can mimic Tella's serve. So I think they're probably better prepared than most teams that come in to this place. There
is one of those lefties. It's Shaw. Chaz Galloway was there, and at the point goes to Hawaii. Gauchos coming in 16-6 overall on the year. They are ranked 5th in the latest AVCA poll. 5-2 and currently in second place coming into the weekend in the Big West Conference. Hawaii 18-5. They're 3-3 in conference play after those 2 losses in Long Beach. D-set goes to Shaw. Blocked and then put over on 2. But a good save by Shui, and then the block is up on Spiros Hakas. And the point goes to UCSB.
Terrific dig by Shui that time to keep that rally alive. And I think, and Hakas took a really good swing at it. Just a better Santa Barbara block.
Brandon Hicks was in the middle of that one, the 6'4 junior from Newport Beach, California. Not the biggest rotation of middles on the UC Santa Barbara side of the net, but they certainly can be productive as Tella goes to his middle. Voss, a quick back set, and the G-force, very forceful on that swing.
Watch for Voss and Hoagland to get a lot of sets tonight when it's a good pass. Tella will be unafraid to keep them active, as Santa Barbara's middles are not, really imposing like a lot of the other middles they see in this league. They're 6'4-ish, smallish middles.
Well, that one through the hands of Wilcox, chased down by Max Gordon, the libero. Wilcox going off the fingertips of the Hawaii block. They were able to slow it down. Here's Muklias, the touch shot, diving save by the setter, Pat Paragus, and then touched over by Shaw. So chance here for Hawaii. Outside Chaz up the elevator. Couldn't get a good swing on it, though. Outside Wilcox, he does. Punched up in the air by Voss. High ball set. It's Galloway off the block and down. And Hawaii wins a lengthy rally.
I'll tell you something, Kano, there's nothing that makes the middle blocker happier than a stuff block. And the second thing they're happy about is when they get a dig to keep a rally alive. And Voss did that twice in this last rally. 2 digs for the big guy.
Give him the libero jersey already.
There you go.
6 serving 3. Again goes down the line against Wilcox, gets the set back on the outside. He goes line, misses wide, no touch up front. And so multiple hitting errors here in the early going for Ryan Wilcox, and Hawaii up 4.
Rare error from Wilcox. He hits around 300 on the outside. That's like a baseball average.
And there's a look at Rich McLaughlin, the reigning ABCA National Coach of the Year, 2 years running. As the certified boss goes long. McLaughlin in his 14th season. So I'm here sitting courtside next to C-Mac. We got the coach along the bench for the Gauchos. He's our Mac. And how many times have you two been mistakenly said to be related to one another?
Oh, I would say more than I can count. And his brother, Jim, as well.
Big swing there by Galloway, touched over by Todorov. Another strong reaction there by Shuey, and that gives Tella the opportunity to go backside to his boy Dimi, and Muklius off to a positive start.
What a dig by Shuey here. He pops it up, keeps the ball alive, passes it right up to where Tella can set 4 guys and run a fast offense.
See the numbers for Muklius. However, it was a bit more of a struggle in Long Beach. Total just 9 kills. Hit negative on night 1. 9 kills over the 2 matches. As that one got a touch, according to the line judge. So the kill granted to Tion Shaw. Averaging 3 kills per set, hitting 267. This is a guy who didn't play last season after logging 14 matches over 2 seasons in 2019 and 2020. Good pass there by Huckus. He gets the set back and just explodes on it.
You know, in warm-ups tonight, the Bick was hit by both Huckus and Galloway, almost knocking poor Leo Choi right on his keister. He got just hammered a couple times, and was setting that Bick ball really well.
It goes to Todorov. Diving save Muklius, chased down on the second touch by Galloway. Free chance though here for the Gaucho. Backside is Wilcox, cross court and in. You'll see some of the punch that he can pack. 5th in the Big West Conference with 3.49 kills per set, hitting 293 on the year.
Those numbers justify why he's a preseason pick for All-American this year.
Also tied for the team lead with 22 aces on the season. And that one goes into the twine. You have the top 2 serve scoring teams in the conference here. Hawaii tops in aces per set in the league. You have UCSB second in that category. And both coaches will say that is of the utmost importance for either team. We saw Hawaii struggle a little bit from the service line against Long Beach, but that time it was Cole Hoagland forcing the overpass, and I think Jakob Tella's knee is feeling okay.
I think it is, Cano. It's just what I was going to say. The knee looked good there. Great serve by Hoagland. He set the whole thing up. Give him all the credit. But Tella looked good there, pounding it down.
There was some concern over the knee here through the week. Some questions as to the availability of Tella. A great pass by Hoagland, so the opportunity for Hawaii. Huckus! Oh, he caught it fat. And no touch up front. He sends it long, so the point goes to the Gauchos. But there were stories about Jakob Tella struggling to even walk on that thing earlier in the week. In fact, Milan Zarkovic, assistant coach for Hawaii, he refers to it as a minor miracle that Tella is out there looking the way he does right now.
Once he got it drained, I think he felt a lot better.
Big side is Muklius. Oh, he had some action on that swing. That had some movement on it. And Muklius now with 3 kills to lead Hawaii.
Muklius doing his utmost to keep the ball in play and not make the mistakes he made last week at Long Beach, where he had several unforced errors each night.
It's easy to forget. Demetrius Muklius, just a sophomore, redshirted last year after playing 13 matches in the previous season. as the block is up for Hawaii, but it goes off the hands and out. Another kill for Shaw. But it's easy to forget, Dimitrios Muklias, he's still a pretty inexperienced player overall in his career, and so some of the inconsistency, according to Charlie Wade, is to be expected.
Absolutely. He's a young kid. He hasn't played as much as Paragus has internationally. Hence, Muklias still's got a steep learning curve, you could say.
To think that he's already doing what he's been doing production-wise and still has so much in front of him, that's a pleasant thought for Hawaii fans, that's for sure. Here's the other half of the Greek connection. Spiros Hakas, and he bounces it off of the Terraflex for an ace. And with that ace, Hawaii now one shy of tying the single-season program record.
I think they'll break it before the year's over, don't you think, tonight?
Well, they tie it right there. So that's now 174 aces, tying the rally scoring single-season record set back in 2019. Hawaii up 7. Welcome back. Let's go inside the numbers presented by Long's Drugs. 91 and 35, the number of ties and lead changes, respectively, in the 2 matches last week between Hawaii and Long Beach State on the continent. Now, Charlie Wade mentioned it in our talk with him earlier this week. He said, while certainly they're not happy with the 2 losses, the way he framed it is, we didn't play that well overall, and yet it was about as competitive a couple of matches as you'll see.
Absolutely. I mean, tied at 21 on night number 1 in every single set and just not able to punch it home the last 4 points. That's close. And with your outsides not having great nights.
Well, that was a great moment right there for Guilherme Voss with the solo stuff. He had a career-high 11 kills on night 2 against Long Beach State. 621 for the match. The middle contribution was strong in Cali last week. That was a strong swing by Dane Chalmers, 6'4" sophomore from Costa Mesa, California. He missed the first 4 matches of the season, like many other programs. UC Santa Barbara has had to navigate through the Omicron variant and positive COVID tests, at least earlier in the year. But when he has been in the starting lineup, the Gauchos are 15 and 2. Voss, another quick back set, and that one was on target.
I'm not sure anybody in the league or maybe the country can set a back one like that from like the 8-foot line. How far is Teloff on it? He's about the 6-foot line there, and he back sets the Voss right on the net. Perfect set. Perfect swing.
Voss entering this match hitting .510 for the season. Oh, that was a blasty blast from Hicks right back at you.
Hicks, a bit of an undersized middle at 6'4", but he's very effective. He wants every ball set. He's really a competitor. He calls for the quick set, hoping he'll get it every time. Quite the competitor.
That one tickles the tape. Good reaction there by Tella to field it. Now the high ball set goes to Galloway. The up by Chalmers. Paragus with the back bump set. Shaw has to 2-hand it over. Tella the first touch. He sets up Galloway, who sets up Muklias. And they're going to say that that is a point for Hawaii. A net violation against the Gauchos. That was one of the freakiest sequences we've seen transitionally for Hawaii. However, they're able to get the point anyway.
Santa Barbara's claiming that the ball was down by the time the net violation occurred. Not so. The violation occurred before that ball was down. Good thing it was a 3-run homer. Kept the ball in the air a long time.
Yeah. Hawaii got bailed out by that Wilcox net, that's for sure. But interesting, the freestyling that they had going on their side of the net. The middle set, that's Todorov. Some heavy heat. Donovan Todorov hitting .461 on the year.
Rado actually, he's Bulgarian descent. Rado actually knew him when he was younger. Charlie Wade said they were thinking about getting him, but just didn't have enough extra scholarship money. Is that your understanding?
Yeah, I mean, you've been talking about Alex Nikolov for Long Beach State, who's from the same hometown as Rado Parapunov. And, he said, unfortunately, he was a guy who was such a prospect. He was expecting a full ride. You only had 4.5 scholarships in a program to disperse throughout the roster. He just said we didn't really have enough to offer him. So Hawaii's loss in that regard, certainly Long Beach's gain.
Yeah. He was good. Nikolov was really good.
It's really
was
good.
Good last week.
As Shaw able to get his 4th kill.
And as I recall, he played really well from 21 all.
Yeah.
Each night. He was tough when the going got tough.
Disek goes to Muklias, and he got a piece of the block. And Dimi is locked in right now, C-Mac. 5 kills, no errors on 7 swings.
That'll keep him on the court, don't you think?
I mean, it changes the dynamic for this Hawaii offense when Muklias is calibrated to the way that he seems to be here to start this match. Oh, that's set. Not communicated. Chance for Hawaii. It's Voss. Paintbrushes it. Diving save by Gordon. The swing by Chalmers will be responded to by Hawaii. Hakas goes hot off of the freshman libero. And another point for Hawaii.
When in doubt, feed Hakas. He's got the hot hand. He knows how to put heat on it, too.
We mentioned the freshman libero Max Gordon from Manhattan Beach out of Miracosta High School.
He's passing well. I'd stay away from him right now. He's really passing the ball well.
Playing in place of Ryan Peksock, who is a very good libero, out currently injured. And so Gordon playing in just his 5th match of the season. Some big shoes to fill under the circumstances. And right now it's Hawaii running away in set 1. Up 10. Timeout Gauchos. Welcome back. Time now for the Hawaii Honda Dealers highlight reel. And Demetrios Muklias has been providing the highlights for Hawaii offensively, C-Mac.
5 kills, no errors in 7 swings. He's hitting high and hard. He's also got 3 digs to go along with that. So Demetrios Muklias has really come to play tonight, that's for sure.
Hitting 7-14 for the match with 3 digs served by Hoagland goes long. Both these teams rely so heavily on serving tough. How did you decipher the way that impacted the matches at Long Beach State, the way Hawaii served over the course of those 2 nights?
Well, you saw my keys in the match tonight. I said serve seams and sidelines, because Charlie Wade said, we served too much into their laps. They never had to move for the ball. And I think that was one of the biggest differences.
Hakas is blocked. Good cover there by Galloway. Muklias against 3 blockers goes off the fingertips. Gauchos go back row. It's Wilcox. Return to sender. Guilherme Voss in the middle of it all again.
Well, they were just waiting for that dip, that's for sure. Wilcox struggling right now. 1 kill, 3 errors, I think negative. On Wilcox-like numbers.
Yeah, he's at negative 167 to be exact. Gauchos hitting 130 as a squad here in this opening frame. Hawaii up double figures. That one pinballs around and Shui slaps it across. Gauchos go outside. That's Chalmers blocked. Here's Wilcox again, blocked by Voss. And a free ball coming over the net. Hawaii has worked the advantage. Tella with options. Middle. Voss unleashes the beast.
Hawaii getting those free balls and making the most of it. I think Rick McLaughlin is going to hold up the challenge paddle. I believe it's going to be on possibly a net violation during the middle of the rally.
See Rick holding the paddle on the opposite end of the handle. Been wanting to make sure that he gets the point across to the R2, the down official, Ernie Ho. He is challenging that last sequence. There's your officiating crew. Joseph Aguilar, the R1 across the way. Randy Rubinall, Mark Nakashima, the 2 line judges. So Ernie Ho will take a look at this. They are looking at a net violation. Is that?
I believe it was in the middle of the rally. There was a net violation, possibly by Nucleus. It's right here. Net shook. No, maybe that wasn't it. Maybe it's the next one, right? Yeah, see if Nucleus nets right there. Nope, just the net shook. And that's all. I don't think that's definitive.
Ernie has removed the headset, so he has come to a determination. And it is a net violation. So a good challenge there by Rick McLaughlin. Hawaii at the net with Guilherme Voss in the middle of it all. They were seemingly impenetrable on that last sequence. But the Gauchos get the point. Still a big uphill climb. They're trying to play for a little momentum going into set 2, perhaps. Here's Voss. Good save on 2 knees by Wilcox. Shaw. That one gets blocked and dunked straight down to the floor. That's Voss getting his fingertips all over it again.
Well, he's just roaming up there, isn't he? He touches almost everything when he's up front. Such a great reader of where the setter is going to set the ball. Great anticipator.
Third in the nation in blocks is Guilherme Voss, as Hakas on Aloha Ball thought that he had aced the Gauchos off the floor in that first set, but it goes long. It remains Aloha Ball.
We've got 9 more chances. You think they can do it? Go ahead, you make the call.
I mean, I like the odds from Hawaii's vantage point. High ball outside, Galloway sends it wide. But again, maybe it's more important for UC Santa Barbara to see if they can get a little bit of momentum, a little bit of juice and energy for set 2, as opposed.
But Hawaii would like to end it right now.
Sure.
And Santa Barbara would like to lengthen this, and it's out, and the set is over.
So
there you
Hawaii
go.
Takes it. Bit of a surprise. The discrepancy on the scoreboard.
Big surprise. Big surprise.
Hawaii takes set 1, 25-16. Set 2 coming up. Well, it was the most talked about knee on the island here this past week. But Jakob Tella was able to overcome some of the knee swelling. That was a holdover from the Long Beach trip, and he looked really good out there, C-Mac.
He really did. He got 9 assists. He set his team to a 296 percentage, hitting percentage, and Santa Barbara's 074. His team sided out at 88%. To Santa Barbara's 58%. So that shows that I think that he is back, to say the least.
Yeah, had a couple of dynamic plays along the way, per usual as well. There's an exciting new way to watch Spectrum Sports on the go. The Spectrum News app has the local sports you love and news and weather that matter most to you. Download today on the App Store or Google Play. Do you think Jackson Wheeler right there in the shot, former University of Hawaii basketball assistant, who I believe is a professor of physical education here at the University of Hawaii at Mount Noah now, do you think he's perusing his Spectrum News app while we speak?
Oh, I could be doing lesson plans. for his classes on Monday. Who knows?
Well, Wheels had to like the effort from Hawaii in that opening set, as you mentioned, C-Mac. Bit of a surprising score, not in terms of Hawaii taking set 1, but the discrepancy, 25-16, Hawaii hitting 296 versus 074 for the Gauchos.
Gauchos normally around 300. I do not expect the second set to be like that. However, Tella could change everything with his serving.
And that one sets a new rally scoring record. $175 service aces this season. For Jakob Tella, he has delivered 47 of them. And he is approaching the individual ace record of 54 in a season held by Mark Prescio and Clay Stanley.
Those are some big-time names.
Yes, they are. There's still some time here this season to get it done. There is Kyler Prescio, who will be celebrated on senior night tomorrow. Back-to-back aces out of the deck.
And, you know, the other player, you know, the guys on the bench are celebrating, obviously. The people in the fans are celebrating. And I'll tell you, the guys in the court are celebrating as well. The blockers didn't have to block. The diggers didn't have to dig. They just have to admire the brilliance of Teller's serving.
I mean, that thing is filthy as that one just goes long. Good Olay move there by Dane Chalmers. But when Teller's hitting those seams, as you alluded to, and the action that's on that serve, I mean, it is nasty.
What does it remind you? You call a lot of baseball. What kind of a baseball pitch would that be?
Yeah, that would be a filthy slide piece.
Okay.
Teller goes middle. Voss blocked. And a little chatter through the net from Brandon Hicks. He let Voss know about it.
I think Charlie Wade might be having something to say to Ernie Ho about that.
Let's take a look here.
Hicks, you know, Hicks was kind of going back to the huddle, but on the way to his huddle, I think he had a few words to say.
How about that serve? Tian Shaw able to get his 12th ace of the season. One of those southpaws who, you know, in the practice gym this week was trying to prep the Gaucho service reception for Jakob Teller.
Interesting that Shaw got that ace. He's had trouble finding the court this year.
Teller goes quick middle. It's Voss. And that's going to be a point for Hawaii. So Voss atones for that solo stuff moments ago. And you watch those two matches at Long Beach. You know, this Big West Conference so competitive. And there was some chatter going between the net as well.
Yeah, that's in Voss told us before the game.
There's no love lost, I think, between the rivalry that has emerged Hawaii and Long Beach State as Galloway ran out of room, comes into the twine. And obviously Brandon Hicks, one of the more vocal elements of this Gaucho front line. Out of Corona Del Mar High School. Graduated from there after spending 3 years at Mater Dei. Same high school, by the way, Corona Del Mar, that produced sophomore setter Pat Paragus. As Hawkes. How about the angle on that swing?
He did a nice job of seeing the block, taking a straightaway shot. He cuts it back across his body, avoids the block, and just buries it back right, area 1.
What he did on night 2 against Long Beach. The percentage not indicative of what he's been doing this season. He's hitting .307 coming into this match. Wilcox, roll shot, diving layout save. Hawkes, here's Galloway. Gets it blocked off his shoulder, nudges it over the top of the twine. Chance here for the Gauchos. Gordon sets up Wilcox, too tight to the net. And it's going to be a double hit called against Wilcox, and Rick McLaughlin is unhappy to say the least. Wilcox, the floor captain, will go over to get clarification from Joseph Aguilar, but Rick McLaughlin leaped off of the bench.
Yeah, he knows that Ryan Wilcox is a quiet kind of a guy. He doesn't argue much. No, I'm not sure about that double contact. I don't agree with Wilcox there. What do you think?
I mean, that was a tough one. It was a patty cake match at the top of the tape there. He is going to get the point. 5 serving 4. Voss serves it over. Here's Shaw. Big swing. Blocked. But the up over the net from Hicks. Here's Muklias down the line. Good save by Gordon. But it goes over the net and out. And Demi is hitting some seeds here this evening.
He really is. He picks up his 6th kill. Yet to make an error. Hitting over 600.
700. He's 667 to be exact. Gordon takes the service reception there. Teller with the up for Hawaii. Here's Muklias. 3 blockers waiting for him. Diving save in the back row, but The overpass, Galloway couldn't finish. Here's Wilcox, big swing, dug up over the net by Voss, and it drifts out of play. So the kill goes to Wilcox. That's just his third of the evening. But you imagine, this guy's going to get grooving here in a little bit.
Yeah, it won't take long for him to get back into the positive numbers and get back up to his usual .323 percentage.
Serve goes long, though. So Hawaii gets the point. That's a key, as mentioned. UC Santa Barbara, we talked with assistant coaches Blaine Nielsen and Jonah Safe. They said, hey, look, the game plan is we want to serve tough. And in fact, that's been the messaging with these guys is try to rip it.
Yeah, exactly. Rip it and rip it has been their philosophy. And so far, they're just having a few too many errors. Hawaii's following it up. They each have, let's see, it looks like they've got probably 5 errors apiece, 6 errors now.
Yeah, that's 6 apiece.
Yeah.
Hawaii does have the 4 aces to 1 for the Gauchos. Here's Paragus, diving pass by Sheward. The slide to Hoagland, but a good up there by Gordon. Shaw slaps it across. Tella, high ball out to Chaz, blocked. Good cover there by Muklius. Chaz a second time. Tried to avoid the block, and he hits it long, and we're tied here in set 2. Tied already for the 4th time here in the second frame.
Well, Galloway's had to hit some really, really tough sets with 2 or 3 blockers up there waiting for him. See if he gets the ball again. Nope.
Step out Hoagland. One of the unique elements that Cole Hoagland, 6'4" redshirt frosh out of Waimanalo and Iolani School, brings to the table.
Former basketball player, he's got that little step out move. It's like making a layup, right? And he has lots of range of motion along the net. He'll go from area 4 all the way out to the right side antenna and everything in between.
Hot serve there by Galloway. The set, though, came out ugly from Paragus, and in fact, they're going to get him for the mishandle.
No arguing about that. That was definitely a double contact.
Paragus, some big shoes to fill with veteran setter Casey McGarry having finished up his eligibility last year. In fact, they had a group of vets last year that carried the load for multiple seasons for this Gauchos program. Wilcox dug up by Galloway along the back line. Here's Muklius.
That was a thing of beauty right there. Misdirection. Tella running one way, setting it the other. This is a difficult set right there. Puts it right where Muklius can attack it. He finds a way to get it to the floor. Boy, Muklius has quite the night.
Yeah, that was an exceptional snap of the wrist there from Dimi. 3-0 run here for Hawaii. Galloway soft touches it and drops it for an ace. Pulls the string. Hawaii has ripped off 4 in a row. And a Gaucho timeout from Rick McLaughlin. Welcome back. We're here for the weekend with Hawaii and UCSB. The Hanaho rematch tomorrow night. 6:30 p.m. start time with our coverage here on Spectrum Sports.
Kapono Faye getting a little airtime.
Yeah. Hoagland able to block Todorov. Now Wilcox, tip shot, layout, save Muklius. Back outside set to Hawkes. And the cover by Gordon. Here's Wilcox. Goes off the block. Hawaii slowing a lot of these swings down. Muklius popped up on one knee by Chalmers. Shaw, tough angle, and he sends it wide. Hawaii is touching everything right now above the tape.
That's the story of their defense right now. They're getting a touch. The ball's going up in the air. They're getting run a free play off it, free ball play. And their offense finally is clicking on all cylinders.
Wilcox with the pass. Outside, here's Shaw down the line. Good dig there, Muklius. Hoagland, jump set to Hawkes. Are you for real?
Now, is Hoagland going to try out for the setting spot like Voss is going to try out for the barrel spot? What are these middle blockers doing? I will tell you this. This is a direct result of Milan Zarkovic running all kinds of, hey, we're all going to become good volleyball player drills every single day.
I mean, we saw Galloway with the jump set earlier in the match. There's Cole Hoagland, the middle. There's like positionless volleyball we're seeing right now.
There you see Milan. He's famous for his drills that run the first 45 minutes of practice where everybody does everything, regardless of what position you play.
Galloway pumps it long, but a good run at the line there. Lucky up a handful here. 8 serving 13 in set 2. Pass there, Hawkus. Slide, Hoagland. Got an assist moments ago. Gets a kill right there off of one leg.
Boy, Hoagland looks like he's in front of the setter 1 minute. Next thing you know, he's behind Tella. Quickly, no block can get up. Middle blocker certainly didn't get there. So Hoagland's facing only one blocker. That was a well-designed play, taking advantage of Hoagland's athleticism.
And a great pass by Hawkus to start it all. Here's Hoagland from the service line into the twine. Hawaii hitting 222 here in this second frame. UCSB riding the struggle bus right now, CMAC, hitting-wise, negative 0.77 in this second set.
That's not typical for them. Normally, they're a very efficient offense.
Here's Todorov. Galloway the pass. High and away it goes to Hawkus. Off the block and down. Spiros Hawkus has it grooving. He's got 5 kills. Hawaii gets to 15 first. Up a half dozen in the second. Welcome back. Let's take a look at the series record. Hawaii leads the all-time series, 54-37. We mentioned these two teams did not meet in the Big West Conference Tournament last year in this building. However, they did meet in the national semifinals. UCSB, which got to Hawaii in the semis after defeating Pepperdine 3-1 in the quarterfinal round, and Hawaii took it in 3 sets. They would go on to beat BYU in the final in 3 sets. Hawaii hanging a banner and getting the bling as now reigning national champs. At the timeout, though, Dane Chalmers able to pile drive that one into the Terraflex.
Chalmers played, by the way, for ex-Long Beach State coach Andy Reid when he played in club volleyball. And the famous Andy Reid also played coached a lot of youth national teams.
And one last note on the series record, Hawaii has won the last 10 meetings going back to 2017. Luis Barnett, another southpaw server, sends it long. So Hawaii up 16-10. What are you seeing from the Gauchos here so far? Why have they struggled to this point?
Well, I think their serve hasn't been what they wanted it to be. They've got 8 service errors now, but they haven't created a lot of aces or forcing Hawaii off the net to out-of-system play.
Shaw, with very little resistance that time at the net, was able to take advantage. And he unloads. That's his 5th kill.
Another thing Santa Barbara's struggling with is, they're only siding out at 40% for the second game, and they're hitting negative 0.77, as you said. Hawaii not hitting much better, but at least they're at 263 and siding out at 66%. It takes around 70%, by the way, to compete in the Big West or the MPSF. You got to side out around 70%.
And here is a serving sub for Hawaii. Kana'i Akana comes in to serve. See what he's done scoring-wise from the service line this year. 17 serving 11. Outside, Wilcox winds up, uncoils, slapped back over one-handed style by Galloway. And then the set too tight to the net, but Wilcox wins the joust. And he has an extra word or two to send across the net after that battle.
Comes up, just pushes up with one hand this time. No chance for a double contact there. He's going to make sure he doesn't get called for that again. Smart play by Ryan.
Diving pass, Hawkus goes over the net, dunked down by Donovan Todorov. And just as we were alluding to some of the service struggles for Santa Barbara, the forced overpass there on the serve by Brandon Hicks. And Gauchos within 4. That one goes wide. So the service line giveth and then it taketh away. And going back behind the line is Demetrius Muklius.
And by the way, you know who leads both teams in digs? Demetrius Muklius. He's got 5 to lead all defenders. How about that?
He's playing a good match. Sends it into the net that time, though. But when Demetrius is right, this is a scary team with a whole lot of options. Good pass there by Sheward. Slide again, Hogan blocked. There's Demi on the coverage. Tough angle on the set by Tella. Still gets it out there for Galloway to put a good swing on it. Here's Shaw off the block. Tella saves it. So the former setter, Sheward, sets up Tella. And he gets the kill.
As he usually does. He's amazingly accurate. He's got a good jump, great arm, obviously. And he gets a point nearly every time he gets a chance to hit the ball in the front row. He delivers. Simple as that. Great bump set by Shuey.
And do not think for a second that that is not by design. That is something that Charlie Wade and this coaching staff has worked on as Wilcox. A facial served up to Brett Sheward.
I think Ryan Wilcox is tired of hitting in the negative. He wants to get back to his usual 300 kill percentage number. And he's doing it in a hurry.
Yeah, that swing felt rage-filled.
Yeah.
So did that serve, but it goes just long. So Hawaii gets to the 20-point mark here in the second. And another serving sub, it's Keone Thim. Local boy out of Kalani High School getting an ovation. Get the radar gun ready.
That's right. He can hammer.
He can send it. Takes a little something off that time, though. Shaw dug up by Galloway. So Thim highballs it to Hawkes. And a great dig on one knee by Wilcox. Gordon the bump set. And going off the block and out is Chalmers. A well-earned point that time for the Gauchos and a tremendous dig by Ryan Wilcox on a heater from Hawkes.
Sometimes the block just gets in the way. The hitter doesn't have that good an approach. The ball's behind him a little bit. Best to just go down, not even bother blocking to provide the hitter with, a chance to use the block.
So here's Sam Collins, 6'2" outside hitter, has a 6'7" wingspan, however. And he deals an ace. That one splits the uprights of Chaz Galloway and Brett Sheward. One of those I got it, you got it, nobody gets it plays. And don't look now, C-Mac, but the Gauchos are within 3.
Not easy. You got to give a lot of credit to Collins for that swing. He's been sitting around for about an hour and finally gets his call, and he delivers.
Second ace of the match for the Gauchos. Here he comes again. This time handled by Galloway. It's an overpass. And finishing the deal is Dane Chalmers. A couple of clutch kills for Chalmers. Charlie Wade calls a timeout as the Gauchos have fought back to within 2. They've scored 3 in a row.
The Gauchos, they've mostly done it with their serving. One was a service ace. The next one was, a forced overpass. And we talked to the 2 assistants before the game, Jonas Safe and Blaine Nielsen. They said, our night will probably go as our serving goes. And sure enough, the first set, serving wasn't great. Most of this set, serving hasn't been great. But just a few recent points, it's getting better. And sure enough, Gauchos are playing better.
Hawaii led by as many as 7 here in this second set. Let's check in with Ryan Kalei-Suji. What you got, Ryan?
Hey, thanks, Gono. Well, for the last few timeouts, the coaching staff here for the Santa Barbara team has been really just trying to encourage them, not really talking a lot of tactics, just talking more about their overall emotion, their aggressiveness, saying that they are letting Hawaii dictate this match and that they want their players to be much more aggressive. They also recognize the talent of Yakatela, saying like, hey, he's a good setter. We have to stay home, stay committed, and then react, and also knowing that he is a threat right now being in the front row. They're just trying to get some momentum to get some of that encouragement back heading into the latter parts of this match. Back over to you guys.
Thanks a lot, Ryan.
That's a good point. I wouldn't be surprised to see Tella take a swing here in the next couple of points, just to mix things up, keep the Santa Barbara middle blockers honest.
Well, the UCSB coaching staff telling us that they would describe this team a much more youthful and less experienced roster than what we saw last year when they made their first trip back to the NCAA tournament since they won the whole thing in 2011.
No seniors on this group.
No seniors. Everybody has more eligibility remaining. However, you know, in the COVID era, those kinds of decisions aren't necessarily based on remaining eligibility. That said, they both described this team as being scrappy. This is a different kind of team, right? They lost the likes of outside hitter Roy McFarland, middle blocker Keenan Sanders, big opposite Randy DeWeese. We mentioned Casey McGarry, the experienced setter. So they're finding ways to stay in matches, and we're perhaps witnessing it right now here in this second frame. Paragus blocked in roof. 6 hands up there waiting for Spiros on that attempt.
Galloway and Paragus have both been challenged tonight to face blocks that are just waiting for them, because Hawaii's had a lot of out-of-system plays.
Another overpass. Another hammer by Chalmers. And UCSB has cut what was once a 7-point deficit down to 1. 10-4 overall run here for the Gauchos. And the look on the face of Charlie Wade saying it all right now. Tough pass there by Paragus. Tella highballs it to Muklias from off the net. Some heavy pepper there by Muklias, but a great dig by Gordon. Chalmers. That one glances off the forearms of Shuey. Back bump set. Galloway to Paragus. Diving save by Gordon off the touch. Shaw the swing. Blocked and roofed. Demetrius next to Guilherme saying,
Maybe the highlight of that particular rally was Max Gordon just laying out, keeping that ball alive. Look at him lay out here. The freshman pops it up with one hand, dives into the camera, and then Guilherme getting the job done for point number 22.
Hard-earned point number 22 for Hawaii. Down the home stretch of set 2. Here's Paragus. What a time to do that! Third ace of the match for Spiros Paragus. And a timeout by UCSB.
Spiros Paragus, how about the way he brings, he delivers in so many different ways. You know, sometimes he's hot out of the back row hitting the big. Sometimes he's hot out of the left in the heater on the go set. And sometimes he's got the heater from behind the service line. And tonight is one of those nights where he's just feeling it there.
Just as you felt the momentum shifting to the Gauchos side of the net, the service line once again provides for the Warriors. The great equalizer for this team here in 2022.
Absolutely. They're just struggling with their passing, you know, the last 12 to 14 points. And all of a sudden, they managed to recover from that bad passing and delivering their own serving as well to force bad Santa Barbara passes.
All right, Ryan's got more for us. What's up, Ryan?
Hey, that's right. Well, Hawaii's inserted Philip Humler on that left side for Chaz Galloway for blocking purposes, hoping to get a bigger block on that right side. We saw Humler fill in on the opposite position last week for Muklias, but right now going back to his natural position of the left side. Hawaii hoping to get a big stop here on that pin. Back over to you.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. Yeah, offensively as well, Chaz Galloway not quite up to his usual standard. Just one kill, hitting -143 on 14 swings. So not perhaps just a defensive sub. I think Charlie Wade may be hoping that Umler can be ready in transition to provide some offense from over there.
And Umler is one of the better players on the team to do that step close move when he's got 3 blockers up and attack a block that's waiting for him.
Pass by Gordon on the Haka serve. Chalmers dug up by Tella. So it's Voss, high ball to Umler, and he is stuffed.
A well-formed Santa Barbara block, 6 hands across. Nowhere for Umler to go that time.
So the Gauchos fighting here down the stretch of the second. And it is Dane Chalmers who has come up big here in the last few sequences. Pass by Huckus, it's perfect. Tella goes outside. Umler blocked and roofed again, this time solo style by the setter, Pat Paragus.
You know, in theory, Umler was doing the right thing. Attack the 6-foot setter, the smallest blocker in the front row, but Paragus was more than up to the task. He won 4 golds in junior volleyball, club volleyball, 3 MVPs, so he can play.
Chalmers blasting the serve, it's an ace! And the Gauchos have tied it up at 23.
Charlie Wade's got one more timeout. Let's see if he uses it.
He does. The 5th tie of this second set. UCSB will not go away, and the spark provided by Dane Chalmers has been pivotal. He now has 5 kills, no errors for the match at 4-17. A big ace right there. He's also been in on 3 blocks.
Yeah, he's been their MVP so far, to say the least.
So tied at 23. UC Santa Barbara out of this timeout will be hoping to realize its first lead since they were up 3-2 a long time ago here in the second.
Like I said earlier, you know, Jonas Safin and Blaine Nielsen said that this team is a kind of a team that has so much grit and fight that at 24-19, they don't give up. Even though they're down, most teams would give up, go to the next game. He said this team is just scrappy and they fight, they've got a great heart, and they're showing it right now, the way they've come back, for sure.
And you mentioned it when we recapped the 2 matches in Long Beach last week. Hawaii from 20 to 25, that's where they had some difficulty finishing the deal. And here we are, set 2 of this opener match in this 2-match series. And Hawaii sort of experiencing that same thing, just unable to really finish, at least to this point.
Yeah. Part of it, by the way, Charlie Wade will say, well, sometimes the other side is just playing better than you are. But clearly, there's a better block, there's a better serve.
Sure.
And sometimes you aren't performing as well as you should.
Tella just has to bump it over on the second touch. Here's Wilcox, big swing, 2-hand save, Shuey. Tella jumps it, outside, Umler, off the block and down. A little vengeance for Phillip. And Hawaii gets to aloha ball here in the second. Now, after Hawaii had reached 20, the 20-point plateau, UCSB went on an 8-3 run prior to that kill by Umler.
Yeah, that's a good point, Kanoa. That's where I think, as you said, getting to 20 and getting to 25 is not an easy thing to do. That's why in practice, most coaches around the country will play game after game after game in practice from 20 to 25, knowing that it often gets to that point, and let's see how you behave serving and receiving in 20 to 25.
Here's Voss on aloha ball in the second. Set goes middle. Hogan says, ole. All by himself. Stuffing Brandon Hicks.
That was huge. Huge.
Hawaii takes the second 25-23, and they'll have an opportunity to crack open the broom closet. Got pushed a little bit down the stretch of that second frame, C-Mac, but they ultimately got it done. What did the numbers tell you?
Pretty much even, except for the kill percentage there. You see Hawaii out hitting Santa Barbara by 100 points. Santa Barbara out blocking Hawaii 6-4 of all things, and Diggs about even. Service aces and errors, very different there. Hawaii with 6 aces and Santa Barbara with only 3. But Santa Barbara's 11 errors, I think, have come at inopportune times, and that's hurt them. When Santa Barbara serves well enough to get Hawaii's center Tella off the net and Hawaii has to be out of system, Santa Barbara scores much more often when they do that. So watch to see how their serving is.
Well, we do see Philip Umler out on the floor to start this 3rd set. So Charlie Wade's going to stick with the 6'7" junior from Czech Republic. See if he can get something going offensively as well as defensively at the net.
He's got to pass. This is a tough spot to pass him, but he's the middle guy of the 3-man passing pattern. They'll probably try to work on him, but Haka stole it from him.
And then the quick set to the middle, and Guilherme Voss doing Voss things with his 4th kill. 4 kills for G-Force to go along with 3 blocks.
See how Haka stole that pass there? Don't worry, Philip. I got you covered until you get calm and cool.
Brazilian flag symbolizing Guilherme Voss, the Rio de Janeiro native. How about that back set to Shaw, but he's blocked by Voss. Wilcox bump set Shaw 2nd time through 3 blockers. It was a more difficult scenario that 2nd crack at it, and he made it work.
It was. He actually swung harder on the 2nd one. He somehow got the ball to wiggle through Hawkins' hands.
And here is Shaw. That one came down to Demetrius Muklias having to avoid that like the Matrix.
That almost got him. Very close to hitting it.
So 2 serving 1 here in the early stage of set number 3.
Shaw's 3rd service error.
Good pass there by Gordon. Back row set. Wilcox is roofed. Umler up there next to Voss.
I think the Hawaii scouting report probably said something like, watch out for Wilcox. They like to get him the ball about every other time.
Wilcox back to flatlining it. 5 kills, 5 errors. Hawaii has definitely paid him some much-deserved attention, but he's able to atone for that last block by getting the kill off of Tella. Hawaii 17-1 this season when winning the 1st set. In fact, they were undefeated in such scenarios until they lost on night 1 against Long Beach State after taking the 1st. Served by Trummers. Diving pass there by Shuey. Quick back set goes to Voss. Chased down by Gordon. Valiant effort. But he's unable to conjure up the save and mark up another kill for G.
Good pursuit by Gordon that time. You got to give him a lot of credit. You know, he's been sitting on the bench most of the year and has come in as a freshman out of Maricosta and done a great job. Only played 4 matches, 13 sets, but he's passed well tonight.
Big swing by Shaw. Yeah, and replacing a libero in Ryan Peksock, who was recognized as the off-the-block national libero of the week and Big West Conference Defensive Player of the Week back in mid-February. So, again, Max Gordon, a tall order here to step in as the starting libero. Pass by Umler, a good one. Middle set, Hoagland had to levitate for a moment. Good sprawling save there by Shaw, and then Wilcox with 3 blockers waiting. Rips it right through.
That was a next level kind of a swing there from Ryan Wilcox.
And the serve by Hicks into the twine.
Hicks with service error number 3. They've got 13 service errors now, does Santa Barbara.
This with the serve. Pass goes over the net, placed down by Umler. Thank you very much. Hawaii up 2.
And Umler does say thank you very much to Muklius, who did the hard work of forcing the overpass.
We have all of the international flavors represented via the flags here tonight. Outside, Wilcox blocked by Tella, gets his own up, gets another crack at it, avoids the block and loops it long, no touch. And another point for Hawaii. That's 3 in a row for the Bows. And Ryan Wilcox, about as human as we have seen him in the coverage that we've had of UC Santa Barbara volleyball on Spectrum Sports.
Yeah, he just can't quite get untrapped right now.
Here's Shaw from behind the line. Shaw, meanwhile, putting in a pretty strong effort. 8th kill for him. So he leads all attackers in this match. Tella and Hoagland on the slide. Oh, that is just something that opposing teams are not going to be very familiar with.
Well, we probably won't have anybody in practice who can duplicate it. Because what Hoagland does is just so unusual. The way he roams up there and explodes, jumps from one spot to another. He's very elusive, to say the least.
Good pass there by Gordon. Middle set, and that is Todorov. And he tears into that one.
I think if Santa Barbara gets more passing that's solid, watch for them to sit the middle more often to guys like Todorov and Hicks.
Todorov right there. The top of the stack in Big West Conference hitting percentage. Tella has to chase down this set. Goes to Hawkus. How about the wrist away shot that was saved by Chalmers. Hawkus a second time through the block. And Shakas for Hawkus as he gets another kill.
By the way, Canoes, I was going to say after the second set when Hawaii was up 24-23, I saw a sprinkling of people stand up. But in Long Beach last week, when Long Beach got to 24, guess what? Like 3,000 people stood up every set.
Shaw. Wow.
Boy, he's looking good, isn't he? He's got it going on.
That's some heavy pop right there from Haotian Shaw.
Averages 3 kills a set. Hits 267 on the year.
Yeah, getting back to your previous point, that has been something. We've talked about it annually, right? That's been a cause that you yourself has championed over the years. As Hawkus has to readjust the approach. How did he do that?
Well, I just think Hawaii could create an even more of an advantage if they stood up at the end of every set where Hawaii had the set point.
Because it is such an image to behold when it is aloha ball for the match and everybody in the arena stands up. If it's aloha ball for set 1 or set 2, I think the impact would be the same.
Yes, I totally agree.
Here's Shaw. Looping swing, diving save. I think Shui got that one. And then Hawkus. He will not be denied right now at this middle stage of set 3.
You know, when Hawkus gets on a run, it's hard to stop. He's in a groove and he's hitting high and hard. He's tough to stop.
I love the flags right across from us, right next to the servers. The Norwegian flag out for Tella's serve as that swing goes long. No touch call, and it's a point for Hawaii, and Rick McLaughlin immediately up out of his seat. And he's going to challenge the no-touch call. So Ernie Ho is going to take a look at it. But we've seen the Brazilian flag. We saw the Greek flag. We saw the Norwegian flag when Jakob Tella was just serving. I mean, that's a really cool touch.
That's pretty cool, yeah. Those guys are getting a lot of airtime, too, aren't they?
Well,
I think they're there.
And, you know, it pays to have good seats if you want to see.
There you go.
If you want your flag to be seen.
They should pay the guys for those seats. Do you see any fingers? I think there was a finger that got bent there backwards. What do you think?
It would be Muklius getting that touch there. And I think I might be with you there.
Yeah.
But these are awfully tough.
Really difficult to call. The ball's traveling so fast, but I think he's going to call a touch.
He will.
Good work by the camera crew. Good work by Ernie Ho picking that up.
And no disagreement from Demetrius Muklius, who the entire time knew that he had touched it.
Yeah. We could have saved us all the trouble by just saying, by the way, I touched it.
I mean,
let's get on with it.
What happened to the honor system, right? So 8 serving 11.
You know who's famous for that was the great Pedro Velasco was famous for that in his club, Wilcox Volleyball Club. It was a rule in the club that they had to all call their own touches.
Oh, man.
It became this huge honor system that was actually got infectious, and other teams started doing the same thing.
It is a test of character, that's for sure. I'm not sure if all of us would have passed that test. 12 serving 8, Hawkus into the net. Hawkus, by the way, now with 8 kills hitting 294, has the 3 service aces. We already mentioned Hawaii has set a single season rally scoring record for service aces, surpassing the 174 previous record mark that was set in 2019. Voss laying the smackdown.
Well, he just gets up so fast, it makes it really difficult for the blockers to get up as fast.
Yeah, when he and Tella are on the same page like that.
Watch out, watch how quick. See, he's up and then the blockers go up. It's like, it's almost not a fair contest.
Yeah, when he catches it flush too, I mean, he pulverizes the set.
Well, those two have quite the connection, don't they?
Yeah, it's been fun to see that develop. Outside, Wilcox off the block, saved by Tella. So Hawkus sets up his Greek connection brother, unable to get it down. Outside, Wilcox, tip shot, pancake save, Tella, no! They're gonna say that it hit the floor, and Jakob Tella gets back up somewhat gingerly.
I think there ought to be a Tella rule. Here's a Tella rule. Jakob, don't go to the floor. Don't bend your knees. Don't worry about getting tip shots like that. See how he kept his right knee up? He kept from hitting the ground, because last week, one of the things that aggravated the knee was he banged it on the floor.
Yeah, there was a diving play, also an offensive swing when he landed that seemed to aggravate the knee, and he was certainly favoring it for a good portion of that match against Long Beach State. And pull out all the stops, right? Make the Jakob rule, wrap him in bubble tape before he leaves the arena.
There you go.
Tella gets under that one. High ball set. Umler! That had a little extra chili pepper water sprinkled on top.
Philip just goes OTT that time, over the top.
.14 serving Tim. Good serve by Muklius. Shaw gets a swing though. Sends it long, no touch. A good play by the setter, Pat Paragus, just to give his teammate Shaw a shot. But it's Hawaii by a handful in set 3. Welcome back. The crowd into it during that last timeout. Doing the wave. In fact, the wave's still going. The signs are out. The fans starting to come back out.
They're back, aren't they? It's great to see.
It's good to see them. It's good to see their faces as masks are now optional. And you can start to see, right, these crowds have been swelling a little bit more and more every home weekend. We have the Big West Conference Tournament a couple of weeks from now.
Another ball, out-of-system ball here.
Good swing, though, by Wilcox. 3 blockers up for Hawaii, and he was able to go deep corner.
Solid serve by Muklis that puts Santa Barbara in out-of-system, but Paragus put up a nice set, hittable ball for Wilcox, and he just found the open court. Smart play.
So here's Pat Paragus, who will turn 22 on April 30th. 4th year with the program, still a sophomore. Slide, Hoagland. And that is starting to get pretty rhythmic here, C-Mac.
Santa Barbara has yet to stop it. It's been so effective. There goes Hoagland in front of the center. Then he's behind it. Not only behind the center, he's all the way to the sideline.
Oh, and you see just how broad a jump he can get, right? He actually just out-sprinted Wilcox to the pin that time. Here's Wilcox from the opposite position, and he rips into it.
So Hawaii now offensively 10 kills and 13 errors in 13 tries, no errors in this 3rd set as we watch Wilcox just bury that one. Hawaii siding out at a 90% clip.
Teller. Paragus up the ladder and down the chute it goes. Hawaii up 5. Meanwhile, Ryan Wilcox got that last kill, C-Mac. Starting to look a little more like himself. He's got 10 kills. That leads everybody. Hitting 160 back into positive figures.
Yeah. He'll be back up to 300 by the time the night is over.
Easy for you to say.
No, it's easy for you to say.
Here's Thim. Outside, the swing by Chalmers slowed down by that block. Here's Demi. Oh, he had to leap a long way. And then puts a hurt on it.
Wow. Maybe Demi's best shot of the night. Just drills it down the line. Max Gordon had to almost get out of the way. Showed up in a hurry.
Jumping from behind the line. Did you see where he landed?
Yeah.
Oh, some heavy heat from Thim. Free ball coming here for Hawaii. Tella, outside, Paragus, blocked and roofed. Todorov and Shaw were ready, waiting, and willing. Todorov, 2nd in the Big West Conference coming into this weekend in blocks, averaging 1.2 per set, and he was up and in on that one.
Charlie Wade up quickly off the bench to tell Humler to pass the ball when Tell is at the net. Put the ball all the way up there. Don't pull him off the net. Let him go up and bang it.
Tella, D-set, Muklius. The up by Wilcox, chased down by Paragus. And a good set. As Chalmers got a swing on it, got it through the block, but then nobody was there for Paragus, who just found the open floor.
Paragus did a nice job of just taking a little bit of tempo off it. The ball is definitely, it could have been out. Close call.
However, it's a point for Hawaii. Kill number 10 for Paragus. Tella with the serve, diving past Wilcox, and then the quick set to Hicks.
Great pass by Ryan Wilcox. Put it right on the money.
That was not an easy serve to receive either.
No. It's spinning the wrong way. It's heading in the wrong direction that he's used to.
Good pass there, Paragus. Middle set, Voss. Gordon off the ricochet, gets the save. Wilcox has to two-hand it over. Set not quite in the spot. Shuey sets up Paragus. Did he get the touch? No touch is called. It's an out ball, point for UCSB. Philip Umler is telling Charlie Wade there was a touch. Charlie Wade is declining to challenge the play.
Charlie has not used a paddle yet.
Shuey with the pass. Voss blocked and roofed. They were waiting for him. And that's Chalmers and Hicks. And I tell you what, good things always seem to happen for UC Santa Barbara when Chalmers rotates into that front row.
Yeah, it's like a good luck charm. I think Charlie Wade will not allow another point to go by before he calls timeout. Look at that.
Boss dug up by Wilcox. Wilcox from the back row. And the Gauchos doing what they did in set 2. Working their way back in the mix. Timeout. Hawaii. 2-point differential. Welcome back. The Gaucho block party. A big reason why they have been able to rally in the last 2 sets and give Hawaii a run for its money. They're doing it again here in the third. They have 2 blocks in this third frame, 8.5 for the match.
Out blocking Hawaii right now. The smaller team out blocking the bigger team.
Hawaii top nationally in blocks. UCSB third in the league in that category. Chalmers. Tough approach, goes off the block and out, gets another point. Hawaii's largest lead was 6 at 18-12. Since then, UCSB has gone on a 6-1 run.
They're doing it again. This team just does not know how to quit.
And Chalmers still without a hitting error. Now has 7 kills, hitting .438. Shaw, an ace. And that lead for Hawaii has evaporated.
Now Santa Barbara's also put in Connor Dunn at 6'9", their biggest blocker.
That's 6 straight points here for the Gauchos. Shaw serves it long and lets Hawaii off of the hook, although it was a great run from the service line prior to.
It was a great run.
Hawaii needed that break. That was another thing Charlie Wade said about the 2 matches in Long Beach in similar situations. Said we just didn't get those breaks. Those breaks seemed to go Long Beach's way in the critical situations. Chalmers blocked. Chalmers a second time off the block, and a point for the Gauchos. Chalmers strikes again.
He's just a nemesis, an Achilles heel for Hawaii. Finds way to go down the line. He goes across court. He finds the seams.
Crowd trying to turn up the volume here. Tough serve by Chalmers. Umler, he's just going to 2-hand it over. Advantage Gauchos. Back row, Chalmers dug up by Tella. So Shui bump set to the front row. Here's Muklius off the fingertips, saved by Chalmers. Here's Shaw, dug up by Hawkes. Hawaii with the advantage. Tella out to Umler. 2-hand save, Gordon. Low set to Wilcox, 2-hands it over. Diving save, Hawkes pinballed around and returned. And we play on. Outside Wilcox, roll shot blocked, covered by Gordon. Wilcox again through the block and down. The Gauchos win a marathon rally.
Wow. That had so much emotion. There you see the Wilcox cheering section. I'm sure Mom and Dad are up there. Debbie and Keone.
UCSB in front. Tella. Back row, Hawkes. Diving save by Chalmers. That was a heck of an effort. Wilcox slowed down by the block. Here's Tella. Backside. Dimmy. Got it down.
I think Hawaii, in the worst way, would love to show they can play well from 21-all. And now it's 21-all, because last week at Long Beach, they were at 21-all 4 times on the first night against Long Beach at the Pyramid, and they only succeeded to get to 25 once.
And these are the stretches, right? It's that last yard in front of the goal line. These are the stretches that make or break championships.
Yep, those are the Santa Barbara Passers are now. All 3 of them are up right by the 3-meter line to get Voss's serve.
Wilcox cross court and in. And a point for the Gauchos. Not much in the way of a protest from Hawaii. So Wilcox starting to find his groove.
Yeah, he was right on the line.
22 serving 21. In there, puts the pass on the money. Backside Nucleus. The block got a good chunk. Shaw with the save. Outside Wilcox. Near corner and in. Charlie Wade thought it was out. Charlie Wade is going to challenge that was an out ball. It was called in on the floor. If the call stands, UCSB is up 2 after having trailed by as many as 6. So this becomes huge at this stage of set 3.
If he gets the challenge, it's going to be 22-all. If he loses the challenge, it stays at 23-21. We'll see if Ernie Ho can get a good look at this one.
For what it's worth, 0 hesitation from Charlie Wade on the decision to challenge.
And it's not a great angle there, but from that shot, it looks like it's good. And I'm sure there's another angle that might be better. We've got one there. Look, there is. Oh, that's good. That looks good. Oh, yep. Your call?
I'm with you. I think that's an in ball. And the call will stand. Well, these Gauchos die hard. That was the reputation they came in with. Their only 2 conference losses were to Long Beach State in a home-and-home series. They have 6 wins over teams that were in the top 10 at the time. So they've been able to get it done. But they've been able to do it in this way, according to the coaching staff, just fighting and clawing and scrapping. The outserve by Hicks gives it back to Hawaii, but the turnaround that we have seen, really in both sets 2 and now here in this set 3 from Rick McLaughlin's crew, I mean, it tells the story.
Yeah, it really does.
What this team is made of. Here's Nucleus. 2-hand pass, Gordon. Oh, the set to Wilcox. Went where he wasn't. And an unforced error by UCSB forces Rick McLaughlin to signal for a timeout. And we are even at 23.
A rare error there. Wilcox now, by the way, has clawed his way back to 14 kills, leads everybody on the floor. Getting 242 now when he was in the negative most of the night.
He was at negative 200 at one point in this match and has completely turned it around. And so if you're UCSB, obviously you're trying to win this match, but even if they don't pull it out here, they have to feel good about the prospects for tomorrow night in the rematch, especially with the way we've seen Ryan Wilcox turn his evening around.
Exactly, because he can carry the team on his back, that's for sure. The guy who's going to be a All-American for sure. He's picked preseason All-American. I think he's a shoo-in, despite the fact he hasn't had his greatest of nights tonight. But I'll tell you, he's battling as hard as he can to pick these guys up on his shoulders and just ride with them, get them out of here with a win.
All right, well, Ryan Kalei-Suji has been listening in to the huddles. Ryan, what's up?
Well, a lot of emotion here, obviously, on the Santa Barbara sideline. They're saying right now Hawaii doesn't want to pass. They can pass. We have got to be aggressive when we get this ball back. They're very confident coming out of this that they're going to get a good pass. They're going to watch Wilcox to set him to try to get him involved. But they are very confident that they are taking this set and saying that we need to continue to put pressure on Hawaii from behind the service line. Back over to you.
Thanks a lot, Ryan. It's so funny watching Rick McLaughlin and the way he operates on the bench. He looks like he is competing in the World Series of Poker. Like there is not much in the way of any facial expression, any change in his demeanor, regardless of what's happening in front of him and what's potentially at stake.
Yeah, that's always been his way. He's been very stoic, to say the least.
This crowd is not stoic. 23 all in the third. Good pass by Gordon outside. Wilcox blocked and roofed. Tella up there next to Hoagland. back.
So this is going to be a tough one right here. Wilcox in the front. He may get it again. And watch out. I think he may beat Hawaii's block the next one. You'll see. Watch this.
Nearly 4,200 through the turnstile. To their feet. On Aloha Ball for the match. Here's Wilcox over the block and down. And we're tied at 24. Extra volleyball here in the third coming up.
You can stop him once, but tough to stop him 2 in a row. He goes up and challenges that block, goes over it, and down.
It's so the exact number, 4,185 back in their seats. At least for the moment.
No, there was the Wilcox fans. I don't think they stood for Hawaii's.
They may. I bet you they were standing as well. D-set Nucleus down the line, gets the kill. Double figure kills for Dimi. 10 put downs on 20 swings, 0 hitting errors.
What a turnaround he's made from last weekend, Kano, when he got the early hook on Saturday night, struggled on Friday night, has come up big tonight.
Aloha Ball again. Umler the serve. Pass over the net. Hoagland dug up by Gordon. Chased down by Wilcox, and we play on. Tella on 2. Missed the court wide. Point for the Gauchos.
The pass just was not close enough to the net. Charlie gives a big thumbs up, though. He loved the play. He loved the choice that Tella made.
And it's Wilcox serving. Hawaii up 2-0. Shui handles the serve. Tella outside. Huckus through the block and down. And a little calisthenics for the fans here at Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center.
It's the aerobic Aloha Ball.
They're standing up again. Amid the Viking clap, Hoagland with the serve. Middle set, Todorov ties it up again.
Perfect pass by Santa Barbara allowed them to run the middle. Again, that serve was not to the sideline or seam, it was right to the passer.
So Hawaii 0 for 3 in Aloha Ball opportunities to seal the match. And here's Sam Collins. He has a service ace under his belt in this match. Pass by Huckus. Tella adjusts, goes outside the spirals. The block slowed it down. Advantage Gauchos. They go to Shaw. One hand saved by Shui. Huckus has to center it. Umler, a tough swing. And he gets the kill.
Where did that come from? Broken play. Boy, completely out of system, out of sorts. And out of nowhere comes Umler with a big hammer.
And Charlie Wade has said repeatedly, Philip Umler is the best out-of-system hitter on this team. How he did that, we may never know. And Tella to serve on Aloha Ball for the match for a 4th time. And it's going to be a net violation against the Gauchos. And Hawaii swings. Ekahi, Elua, Aloha, under the Friday night lights.
Wow, what a match. Hawaii dodged a bullet in the second set. Could have been tied 1-1. And then they dodged several bullets in the third set. And they sneak away with a victory.
That final frame was a battle. Hawaii takes it 28-26. They hit 382 versus the Gauchos 421. That was some high-level volleyball that we saw play out down the stretch here this evening.
It really was. I think Hawaii finally proved that they can win when it gets tight between 20 and 25.
Hawaii improving to 19-5 on the year, 4-3 in the Big West Conference. They give the Gauchos their 3rd league loss They're 5-3 in the Big West, 16-7 overall. Hawaii now 18-1 this season when winning that first frame. Starting well has been crucial for Hawaii tonight. They did a little bit of both. They started well, and when push came to shove in that third set, playing extra points, they once again thrived.
Maybe the play of the night, Humler's back row attack in a broken system.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was crazy.
I mean, he had no business getting that point, but that didn't stop him.
If he doesn't get that kill, it's 27-26 Santa Barbara.
That's right.
And they're serving for the set.
So fourth time was a charm for Hawaii. They get the sweep victory. Scott Robbs is with Charlie Wade.
First off, Coach, congratulations. That was a big win for your team, considering where we're at in the season.
For sure. I mean, all league games are important, and that's a really good team, so glad to get out of there with the win tonight.
You brought in Philip Humler late in that second set in the 20s, left him in for the third set. He really came through for you.
Yeah, I mean, Phillips, he's been such a big part of the program, and he's played well. He played really good in 2020 for us, so nice to see him get out there and contribute, for sure.
How do you think you overall played tonight, you guys as a team?
Yeah, I mean, okay. Not great. I mean, I thought we put a lot of service pressure on him, something we've been trying to, continue to do. So I thought that part, and I thought we defended pretty well. I imagine it'll be a close match again tomorrow.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow night. Thanks.
All right, thanks a lot.
Kanoa.
Thanks a lot, Scott. All right, Bank of Hawaii presents the players of the match. Dane Chalmers, the Great Dane for UCSB. Here this evening, 8 kills, hit .421. Had no hitting errors, 7 digs, 4 blocks, and a service ace. And Jakob Tella filling up the stat sheet as usual. 30 assists, 2 kills, 7 digs, a block, and 2 service aces. Hawaii sets the single season rally scoring aces record as they totaled 6 as a squad. CMAC, big win for Hawaii. They needed a bounce back after what happened in California against Long Beach last weekend. They get it on night 1. Tomorrow night will be senior night. I'll give you the last thought here as we get set for that.
Well, I think this is a huge, huge victory for Hawaii, especially after last week's disappointment. I think they proved that they can play when the going gets tough, and that should be the message Charlie gives them tonight. And tomorrow night also, by the way, is going to be a really good match.
3 seniors who will be honored: Kyler Presho, Avery Enriquez, and Max Rosenfeld. We'll see if they get some PT in front of the home fans on senior night. But right now, Hawaii feeling good about a sweep victory over the 5th-ranked Gauchos. Don't forget about the post-game show. They'll break it all down. But for now, for CMAC, Chris McLaughlin, I'm Kanoa Leahy. Until next time, everybody, aloha from Manoa. The home of University of Hawaii sports.
The new season just dropped. Enter the Big Dinner Box from Pizza Hut. 2 pizzas, breadsticks, and wings all in one box. You'll run out of episodes before you run out of food. The Big Dinner Box, only from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut.
I wanna live and feel alive, chase my dreams in the sky, oh, in my pursuit of happiness. Oh.
At Bank of Hawaii, nothing means more to us than helping you pursue your happiness. Bank of Hawaii, live your happy.
The new season just dropped. Enter the Big Dinner Box from Pizza Hut. 2 pizzas, breadsticks, and wings all in one box. You'll run out of episodes before you run out of food. The Big Dinner Box, only from Pizza Hut. No one outpizzas the Hut.
This month on Spectrum OC16, the best baseball talents in the state collide, and the ladies light up the diamond in the race for the OIA Softball Championship. There's nothing like postseason sports. Only on OC16, exclusively on Spectrum.
Highlights Hawaii UCSB night number 1. We start off with Hawaii's outstanding center, Jakob Tella. There you see him ripping one of his 2 service aces on the night. Dished out 30 assists. He even had a couple of kills, 7 digs, and add in a block as well. How about the Puno graduate, Ryan Wilcox? He has led the way for the Gauchos all season long. He did again tonight. He had 15 kills on 35 swings, hit .229 along with 6 digs. How about Spittle's Hawkins? Paragus over on the left side. First behind the service line. He had 3 service aces, finished with a team-high 11 kills, hitting 240 on the night as he goes from the back row and puts it down on the other side. And his countryman, Demetrius Muklias, on the opposite. Struggled last week at Long Beach State, picked it up here tonight, regrouping, hitting 500. 20 attacks, 10 kills without an error for Dimmy. He also had 5 kills and a block as the University of Hawaii makes it a sweep on Aloha Friday in Manoa, winning it in 3 over number 5 UCSB.
From Spectrum Sports, it's the Hawaii Honda Dealers post-game show.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. Scott, Lisa, and Ryan. Hawaii makes it a sweep over UCSB here tonight in Manoa in a very big match as we head down the home stretch of the regular season. In part to our guest joining us, Philip Humler, who did a nice job coming in late in that second set, standing things out, and then carrying it on through the third set. Congratulations, Philip.
Mahalo nui. Thank you, guys.
What's that on your upper lip, by the way?
My upper lip?
Yeah, what are you growing there?
Oh.
Are you trying to grow a mustache?
No. I'm going to shave it tonight.
Okay, good.
I swear. I know it's terrible.
Hey, you're such a great teammate. I've talked to you a number of times. You say, I just want to win. But when you get a chance to go out there and help your team win, that's got to be huge for you.
Yeah, I'm super grateful for every opportunity I get. Every time I get the shot to go in, I'm just trying to leave everything out there, bring the energy, give it a little spark, change the rhythm of the game, and leave everything out there. Yeah, that's it.
Share with us a little bit. You talked about the energy, how you came in tonight and you were really put in a clutch situation coming in those last 2 matches that were so close. UCSB just really getting on to you guys, came after you a little bit, but you just continued to swing away. How's your energy coming into something like that?
Well, it's kind of tough to be on the bench. You get cold, and then you gotta warm up again for the game. And yeah, it always takes me a while to do that, but I think I warm up towards the end when it really mattered, so I'm glad for that.
Yeah, I think your warm-up was perfect timing.
Yeah, I guess so.
You know, we saw you last weekend going on the right side, of course tonight being put on the left. What is that like, having to make those adjustments? Specifically last weekend, you haven't seen a whole lot of time in your career on the opposite position, but having to fill into that role. Talk about the differences between going back and forth.
Well, it's different for sure for me because on the practice gym I only spend time on the left side, but yeah, like I said, it's also the aspect of the energy, right, that I gotta bring in. It's not just about the statistical performance, but also about the energy for the boys and just to keep the game up. Yeah.
Talk about your buddy Jakob. I mean, fighting through that knee, and I mean the effort he had out there tonight for you.
Yeah, it was a tough last couple of days for him. From last Monday, actually, his knee was pretty bad, and I'm super glad that he's feeling better now, and hopefully the injury is almost healed.
Well, we know that you, of course, this is Hawaii's become your second home, but bro, I heard you talk Pidgin a few times. Your Pidgin is pretty good. Can get one sample?
Oh, bro, I like sample. Yeah, guarantee. Mahalo nui, guys. I mean, I love the culture. I love the community, and yeah, it's kind of only type of English that I ever heard, since I got here. So for me, it's kind of regular English.
Yeah, Philip is almost like a Hanai local boy now. I mean, his
really Pidgin
is
probably better than the mainlanders on this team. He's probably one of the best Pidgin.
But of course, you're a native of the Czech Republic. The town you're from, a lot of people may not know this, is like the brewery capital of the Czech Republic. Budweiser, not the one in St. Louis, the original one, is brewed in your hometown. Aren't there like 30 breweries? I mean, there's an incredible amount of breweries in your small town, right?
I know, there is. And that's the thing, like everybody knows Budweiser, but I am from that city, and there was some problem with the copyrights, and the Americans actually stole it from us, so the best Budweiser you can get only in the Czech Republic.
I hear you. All right, before we let you, what are you saying?
No, I just have one follow-up question. There was some talk coming into this weekend. We didn't know if you were going to be honored tomorrow night at senior night. Your decision moving forward with the team. We talk a little bit about your future here with the program.
Yeah, you guys didn't know. I didn't know either. That's the thing. We were still trying to figure it out, but it looks like I'm going to stay here because it's too hard for me to leave this place, you know. This amazing arena, the community, and just the islands in general.
And who's going to go fishing with Ken if you don't go?
Oh, that's right. That's another big reason why I got to stay here.
I mean, Jakob needs somebody to go fishing with you, him, and Ken.
I still got to get the ahi, you know. And
I know. You're waiting. All right. One last thing, Philip. Your family is watching back in the Czech Republic. Say something to them in Czech and let them know you appreciate them watching.
Guarantee, mohl. Maminko, miluju vás strašně moc a těším se na vás za 4 týdny, až přijedete.
What'd you say?
I said that I'm looking forward for them to come because they're coming in 4 weeks.
Oh, awesome. All right. Well, terrific job out there. I hope we see you back on the floor tomorrow night. And as always, mahalo, Philip.
Mahalo. Thank you, guys. Right. Have a good one. Shoot.
Thanks.
Take care. Philip Blumen. He is the greatest. I tell you, such a great guy. All right, we'll take a break, come back and have more from the corner.
Mackay Glass is Maui's premier glass studio and fine arts gallery. Artists Randy Schaefer, Justin Brown, and a team of amazingly talented glass makers and artisans create one-of-a-kind works of art in front of a studio audience. Choose from the hundreds of featured works in the gallery, or commission a custom sculpture or lighting fixture to fit your home. This unique gallery experience features Maui's finest works of art. Take home a true Maui treasure to be enjoyed for generations. Experience Mackay Glass Maui in Hali'imaile.
My little brother likes dogs.
Neat.
Neato.
This is from the couple over there. They said they had their first date here too.
It's that obvious?
I like TV shows. Me too.
The local favorites are back. The ever-popular garlic miso chicken plate and comforting chicken long rice.
Aloha Eye Clinic has been serving Maui families for over 42 years. Staffed by highly experienced ophthalmologists and optometrists, the clinic treats a comprehensive range of eye conditions and is the only one on Maui offering the latest intraocular lens technology. Aloha Eye Clinic provides a full spectrum of eye care, ranging from glasses and contact lenses up to advanced medical and surgical eye care. Whatever your eye care needs are, the Aloha Eye Clinic in Kihei and Wailuku are here to serve you with the very best care.
Welcome back to the Hawaii Honda Dealers post-game show.
All right, let's take a look at the final numbers from this one. The numbers that really matter at the top of the screen. Hawaii winning it in 3. Had to go extra points in the third set. But other than that, look at the kills are even. 5 more attempts for UCSB. The errors, 2 more. I mean, everything up and down is pretty similar. You look at the digs. I mean, it shows kind of like last week when Hawaii played at Long Beach State. It's at that last 5 points where last week Hawaii couldn't get it done. Tonight they got it done in sets 2 and 3. That was the difference.
Yeah, I don't think they needed to get that close. You know, Hawaii had large leads. I don't know if they just like testing to see if they can make things more interesting once they hit 20. But good to see them actually close it out. They built pretty substantial leads in all these sets, and we saw how Santa Barbara was able to come back. But luckily for Hawaii, they were able to turn it into another gear tonight.
Santa Barbara's just so gritty. They're so tenacious. They never say die. They just kept coming after the Warriors tonight, and you just got to give them a lot of credit, but you also got to give credit to the Warriors in a sense that they closed the deal. They did the little things that became the big things when it was 20, 21 all, 22 all, 23 all. They persevered as well. And I think that's a huge sense of gaining their confidence in closing the door.
You know, there are 2 things we talked about in Game On that we wanted to see or we were curious. One of them was how Nucleus would respond tonight after struggling last weekend, Ryan. I think he responded pretty well.
He made a statement tonight. I think this is something that he knows was a big thing coming into this weekend, was going to be the right side. And if he was going to be able to hold on to this position after the performance last weekend, really solidifying his role, 10 kills, no errors, hitting 500. The key now is, can he sustain it? Can he have back-to-back nights of these types of performances? Because we have seen in the past where sometimes these players can be a little streaky, one night playing out of their minds and the next night really struggling. So I think the key will be how he comes out tomorrow night.
And the other thing, Lisa, we talked about was serve receive for Hawaii. Overall, how do you think they handled that?
Well, I think they handled it really well to a certain degree, because UC Santa Barbara actually had a lot of service errors. I believe there were 15 service errors. And then when they got a lot of their serves in, they were just trying to keep them in. So I don't think they were as challenged as much as I thought they may have been, but I thought their serve receive was good tonight.
Okay, one thing, Chaz Galloway, 1 kill on 14 swings for the second straight game. They've had to bring in Philip Humler to replace him. Is that a concern?
I don't think so. I don't think there's any reason to hit the panic button for Chaz Galloway. I think one of the things that resulted in some of those poor numbers that we see on the stat line is because of the out-of-system balls that Chaz had to hit. He had very few opportunities to hit the ball on a good pass. Hawaii was running the middles, running the bigs, running Demi on the right side. And so Chaz often got some of those garbage sets where he had 3 blockers up, 2 blockers up. And unfortunately, he just really didn't get a chance to put away those balls on those type of sets, which just brought his hitting percentage down overall, but he's still a very important part of this piece.
But that is one of the strengths of Philip Humler, though, right?
Yes, absolutely. He likes the leftovers. That's his best job, is he takes the leftovers and makes them really, really good. And Chaz Galloway, he definitely, Ryan, don't push the panic button on him. He's going to come back, and he won't get those types of sets as consistently.
How about your guys' thoughts on UC Santa Barbara and how they played tonight?
Again, gritty, tenacious. They never said die. I thought they could have gotten their middles involved a little bit more. They were very... they started getting predictable going to Ryan Wilcox, who held his own. I mean, he picked it up in sets 2 and 3, definitely, but in the first set, he struggled a little bit, and it got a little bit predictable, so Hawaii's defense could line up against Ryan Wilcox.
And we see some of the highlights from Wilcox. I mean, he, towards the end, I mean, everyone in the gym knew where that ball was going. And there was one point where he swung aggressively and got blocked, and that led to Hawaii's first set point in set number 3, but was able to kind of battle through and help lead his team. But he's going to need help. And I think one of the things that a lot of people were questioning about Santa Barbara coming into the season was just their maturity. They lost a lot of talented players, including their starting setter from last season, who was an All-American, their opposite in Deweese as well. And so this may be a Santa Barbara team that is still also trying to find themselves in some of the pieces that they're missing. But I think more importantly, this is the highest ranked team Hawaii has beaten this season, and they beat them in 3. This is a very good Santa Barbara team. It's a very good win for Hawaii's resume.
And exactly what Ryan was saying, this Santa Barbara team is new to each other. Ryan Wilcox was one of the only returning starters on this team, so it is a new team. It's also a very young team. They don't have any seniors. I mean, they are going to return, and they're going to keep coming back at you. And they're out. Their liberos stayed back, so they're still getting in their groove and getting their things together as well.
Well, it should be another battle tomorrow night. When we come back, we'll look forward to that one. Hawaii UCSB Part 2. We'll be right back.
When we were ready to buy a home, we thought we'd find one like that.
Boy, we were wrong.
And then my friend said, get Nicole. She's the best.
Nicole was amazing. She found us exactly what we were looking for.
Nicole makes real estate easy.
Aloha. I'm Nicole Kermack with Keller Williams Maui Realty. When you love your job, it's not work. And I love helping my clients. So the next time you're looking to buy or sell a property, give me a call.
Aloha Roofing Supply in Kapa'a is Kauai's supplier of roofing, lumber, and building materials. We carry a large variety of roofing and building supplies in stock at our store and base yard for contractor, commercial, and residential needs. Name brand roofing products and supplies, lumber and siding, metal roofing, ag fencing, and chain link panels. We offer performance bonding for contractors and owner builders with our friends at Gather Federal Credit Union. Mahalo, Kauai, for choosing us for your roofing and building needs.
You're watching Spectrum Sports. Although it seems like any ordinary day, it isn't.
for one extraordinary reason. Because now with Spectrum Mobile, you get unlimited on 2 or more lines for $29.99 a line. This is a huge deal that'll make you feel larger than life. Get unlimited from Spectrum Mobile for just $29.99 with nationwide 5G included. Call 1-844-683-2999. It's the biggest news in mobile with the best deal ever. Get unlimited talk, text, and data for only $29.99 with no contracts, added taxes, or hidden fees, and nationwide 5G included. Save up to 60% on your mobile bill. Get gigantic savings with unlimited from Spectrum Mobile for just $29.99. Call 1-844-683-2999 or visit a store near you. Switch today and you too will feel larger than life.
Welcome back to the Hawaii Honda Dealers post-game show.
All right, let's take a look at the updated standings as this one is POW. There you see Hawaii moving ahead of UC San Diego at 4-3. Of course, Hawaii split their pair with the Trojans tonight. UC Santa Barbara and Hawaii. Hawaii wins the open. Of course, Long Beach State swept Hawaii last week. And so if the season were to end today, First, let's look at the schedule. One more tomorrow night. You'll see it live right here on Spectrum Sports beginning at 6:30. Then next weekend, they wrap up the regular season on the road at UC Irvine before returning here for the Big West Tournament April 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. So now let's take a look. If the season were to end today, and it's not, but just in case, if something happens, this is what it would look like. Hawaii would be on the same side as UCSB, which in a way I think is kind of a good thing, isn't it? You don't want to be on the same side as Long Beach State.
Yeah, you want to be 2 or 3. You don't want to be 4 if Long Beach State is going to be 1, because that means you're going to have to meet them in the semifinals. So Hawaii just wants to maintain enough distance where they rack in that 2 or 3 spot.
You know, we talked about if Hawaii can win their final 3, they would finish second in the conference. They would get that bye. How important is having a bye in a 3-day tournament?
Well, I think it's super important. You're fresh. You get to sit back and watch the other teams compete and watch your opponents, where they are, who's on the court, who's off the court. Things have continually changed for all of these teams with injuries and lineups. So I think it's a huge advantage.
Yeah, I think it's going to be huge for whatever team gets to be in that spot and having that break. But more importantly, I think what else is huge is that Hawaii gets to be home. I mean, I know there's a lot of debate right now about the Hawaii Tourism Authority, what their role is, what they're going to do. But I can tell you, Charlie Wade is very happy that the HTA a few years back decided to invest money into this tournament to host last year and this year, because this is the year that Hawaii wants to host that tournament, because they are going to need these fans to help lift them to the national championship run.
But before all that, we have the rematch tomorrow night. Hawaii, UC Santa Barbara. Hawaii won in 3 tonight, but it wasn't easy. What do you guys expect tomorrow evening?
I expect Santa Barbara to come in a little bit more at ease. Now that they've been here, they've got a very young team. I think they'll settle down. I think their service will get a little bit more consistent. And I think for the Warriors, for the Rainbows, I think just more of the same. I think Charlie Wade tends to go back to his starting lineup. I think you will see Chaz Galloway back into the lineup, and if he needs to make an adjustment, he will.
I expect a very close match tomorrow night. Santa Barbara did not play, I think, to the level that they expected. We saw glimpses of what they can do in the latter part of the match, but this is a team that has really pushed some of the top teams in the country to the brink and pulled off some upsets, and they would like nothing better than to pull up an upset on senior night. Oftentimes, Hawaii can get distracted because of all the things going on with senior night and families in town, and so that can be a distraction for a team sometimes, and so Hawaii has got to remain focused and really honor their seniors and send them out with a win.
Yeah, and it'll be different this year because, well, there'll be fans here on senior night, unlike last year where everything was done on the Jumbotron. Outstanding job, guys. We'll do it again tomorrow night. Don't forget, 6:30 Game On, presented by Bank of Hawaii. Well, that wraps things up for us here this evening. Special thanks, as always, to our terrific, outstanding Spectrum Sports crew. And for my broadcast partners, Ryan and Lisa, I'm Scott. Until next time, bidding you along, and a good evening from Simplify Arena at Stan Sheriff Center in Manoa.
After my husband passed away, I actually visited every senior living community from Punalu'u to Hawaii Kai, and Arcadia was head and shoulders above the rest. Everyone, from the top manager to the valet, calls you by name. They even check every morning to make sure you're okay. It makes me feel very safe and secure. I love it here. It's the best decision I ever made.
Rainbow Warrior Volleyball is about grit, determination,